Give me the sound system remote. All right, it's a very, very lovely day once again. Wow, yesterday was a surprise. That's why I call it massive, incredible surprise in the UEFA Champions League. Either ways you look at it, it was surprise beyond expectations. Hold on. It was surprise beyond expectation. I don't think anybody I don't think anybody expected that to happen. But then it is football. The football is like biscuit, you don't know where it will break unless it is Madiga. Some of you don't know what Madiga is, do you? Well, such as life, these things happen, life happens, and people will all learn from this mistake. It happened to an Italian team years ago when they sent to 4-1 lead to Spain, Deportivo La Corona, and then the game was overturned. Andre Pello, was so mad about it that he wrote a book. I mean, he dedicated a chapter in his book to it. That's how, now this tells me that in the future, some of these Barcelona players will also write about what happened on the night. I mean, they might accuse Roma players of being on drugs, accuse themselves, or say whatever they want to say. But to overturn a 4-1 deficit, it's incredible. But isn't that what makes football beautiful? I mean, if everything just go as planned, as expected, as predicted, football is boring. As far as I'm concerned, it's boring because it's like match fixing. It's going according to scripts. But then, this things happen to change the tide and make us see football for how beautiful it really is. And it's good. It's good that happened. As much as I wanted Barcelona to go further than the competition, but I think it was a deserved win for AS Roma. And for Liverpool, wow. Now that's how you play football. That's how you get all up in a team's face and let them know that all of these shenanigans of tiki-taka, beautiful football, great coaching and all that, we don't care. We are in this competition to win it, and we are going to give as good as we are getting. When we need to defend, we will defend. When we need to be patient, we'll be patient. But the most important thing is every opportunity we get, we will grab, we'll take it, we'll smash, we would, yesterday's game taught me more life lessons than, things that I learned in classroom. So let me start by saying that my name is Idafi Matthew, and it feels good to always look at situation from the angle where everyone writes you off, everyone say it is over for you. That doesn't mean that Barcelona is a bad thing. It's not every time when a team loses because they are bad. Sometimes it's just because football happened. And yesterday, football happened. Football happened last night. I mean, not too many times does Barcelona play and don't score a goal for 90 minutes. Not too many times does defeats stare in the face of a team like FC Barcelona and they can't do anything about it. It tells you that even with the Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez, these guys are humans. In that one single game, you could feel the absence of Neymar. You could, analyze it one way or the other. You could say all sort of things. But the truth is, if Barcelona had come from a 4-1 deficit to win, we'll talk about how good and how awesome and how magnificent and fantastic the Barcelona team and their system is. I think that AS Roma deserves all the credits. All the credit. And when I say all, I mean all. Now, not 1 inch of that game's credit should go to someone else. It's not about bad refereeing. It's not about the weather. It's not about the pitch. It's not about the crowd in the stadium. It is about a team who refused to fall down and die. And not too many times. And in my usual way, I always say that analysis for me is using the relative everyday experience to analyze football. That's why I call my analysis, the pattern of my analysis, relativity theory, not the one about Einstein discussed about, but I just call it using the known to describe the unknown. First off, let me say very thank you to Sakbore Ufoma Jeremiah. They say I enjoyed it. That sound like fulfillment, I enjoyed it. Ooh, I loved it, And Sakbore Ufoma Jeremiah again say, I think Manchester City has been discovered and Barcelona has set in. I agree with you. As a matter of fact, I think that I've given this Barcelona team so much credit this season, and this is my reason for giving them credit. I think that the Barcelona team was broken from the beginning of the season. The exit of Neymar broke this team. But for them to have been able to patch that brokenness and be able to, they say that when all is going well for you, what you do really does not matter. I mean, you are the man. It's your moment. You're in your zone. You just anything you touch, you're Midas. Anything you touch turns gold. But then there is that moment where everything is stacked against you. The odds are against you. If you can dig yourself out of the pit and stand top on the pole, you are the man. You are the reason why everybody should look. Understand? So it's like Sam Sissa's team to Rio 2016. All of the odds were stacked against him from the African Championship down to when they went to Atlanta. But they dug themselves out of the pit. And that's exactly what Barcelona have been doing all season, digging themselves out of the pit. But I think yesterday the tunnel just collapsed on them. Yeah, that's my opinion. I think the tunnel just collapsed on them. For Man City, I think for Man City, there was a time in this season. Remember when they played against Crystal Palace and drew last minute, and then they played against Wigan in the FA Cup, and then they lost and they were fighting. I think there was a time in this season where a bit of arrogance started setting in their play, in their behavior, in their attitude. Seems like, oh, we are Man City, we are coached by Pep Guardiola, all we need to do is just show up and we'll get the results. That's my opinion. That starts setting in their mannerism, in their body language. They walk in with a certain swag, which is good. I like swag. I mean, I'm swag father. I like swag. I like when you're good at something, show off. I do not believe the word humility does not work where I come from. It doesn't mean I'm proud, but this is the context of which people say it over here. I don't believe. I believe in the Muhammad Ali style. I believe in Floyd Mayweather style. You understand me? If you've got to flaunt it. I mean, if you read the Bible, God flaunts everything He's got from Genesis to Revelation. Flaunts His power, the might of His power, the ability of His personality, His aura, and all that. So I think that if we're created in the image of God, then we should just be like Him. Now, having said that, let's look at this carefully. Is Liverpool better than Man City? What makes Liverpool a team that can have a near perfect run in the Champions League but can't do that with the league? What is the thing about Liverpool when they play against the big side that makes them come all popping, but when they play against the smaller side, they seem to struggle? What's the thing about Jurgen Klopp? And let's not forget that Jurgen Klopp gets to finals of competition and lose. So this is where I'm going to ask you guys, if you have an opinion about this, put it on the chat box. Let's talk. What do you think? Is Liverpool actually, as it is right now, I mean, no team in the history of Pep Guardiola's coaching has beaten him 3 times in one season. This is the first. So, first time was a mistake, second time was coincidence, third time, come on. Scored 9 goals in 3 games. Scored 9 and conceded 4. I don't think that's coincidence. So what do you think? Is Liverpool actually better than Man City? And if Man City, eventually wins this title, I mean, have they lost the right to celebrate, to jump and, after losing to Manchester United in the Manchester Derby and losing to Liverpool home and away in the Champions League, do they still have any right to celebrate and brag and say that Pep Guardiola has come and reinvented the wheel of football? Well, I don't see anything reinvented anyway, as it is right now. I don't see anything reinvented because the amount of money spent building that team, I think that they should have elementary basic defending, and in both legs against Liverpool, it was that lack of elementary defending that knocked them out, that killed that team. So I'm wondering if really that happens. But let's see what comes. What comes at the end of the day. So I'm waiting. I need you guys to get involved. In Italy, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. My Italian friend, wrote to me. This is what I say. Hello, bro. How are you? Did you see Roma? Amazing. I didn't expect it. I said yes. It was flabbergasting, overjoyed. And he went and he said the last time we had a team in the semifinals apart from you, there was 2010 with Inter Milan. But I think he's using I think we are still far from saying Italian football is back to the top, but we would enjoy this moment. It was like Christmas in Rome last night. Nobody had scored as much as Edin Dzeko for Roma in Champions League history. The previous record belonged to Roberto Peruzzo. Remember that guy? That guy that looked like a macho man. Striker from the 1980s when Roma was managed by the legendary Miroslav Klose. Good. In Italy, we have a proverb. It might be interesting for your audience. He said, when your goalkeeper makes saves and your striker score, you have a good chance of having a winning team. Roma's goalie is brilliant and the striker is in good form. So who knows what will happen? That's my friend and brother from Italy. He's actually a Sampdoria fan. He's a former goalkeeper anyway. We played together briefly. His name is Daniele Capelna, and he got injured like I got injured playing in Sweden. And he's so happy, like he's in Cloud 9. Remember that John Legend song, Cloud 9? He's floating and living on Cloud 9 right now. But I mean, I need to hear from you guys. It's not just about me. What aspect of the game do you want us to talk about? What aspect of this situation? Don't worry, I'm going to give it goes, but it's not just going to be focusing on prediction. Let's talk. Let's relate and analyze the game and see how it goes. Yes, still Sakpare, Ufuma, Jeremiah, that's hanging in there. But I know that there are 6 people on the thread that are in this video right now. So let's get your take on this matter. This guy who wanted to talk about what's that topic you wanted to talk about yesterday? Also, he was asking me what's most important, forgiveness or love. I don't know if he's here, so I'm waiting for you guys. Put up your comment, put up your post, your chat on the chat box, and then let's get going as it is. And then let me also, by way of reminder, let me see this. I'm starting a mentorship. I'm starting a mentorship program here at my house for people who are interested in learning the way I analyze football. I want to share my knowledge because I do not think that there's going to be a time again when I'm going to have that long time to be on radio to do analysis. So I think I want to, share my idea, my style with people who are interested. I mean, 3 times a week, on Tuesdays, on Wednesdays, and on Fridays at my place. We'll sit down, we'll talk. I give a breakdown of, what books to read, what to do, or how I did it to get to this place. Yes, excluding the fact that I play football. It's not just when you play football. I mean, you guys have seen ex-footballers analyze. It's not just because you play football. Yeah, playing football gives you an inside experience, but it goes beyond that. Let's be very, very honest. Look at people like Omar, Katuba, the other period of time, and then when we leave, people come again and they start afresh. And I don't think that it's best thing to do. So somewhere at the back of my mind, I know the need, like, okay, I want to do that mentorship thing, like they call transfer of knowledge, transfer of knowledge to people who have interest in it. Before anybody start getting worried, it's for free. I'm not charging anybody. Just come sit on this my table, and then we'll sit down and talk. It's going to be opening my doors. I live a very private life. Opening my doors to strangers, well, it's a risk that is worth taking. I think I'm covered. I'm still waiting for your comments on the chat box. I don't know what's holding your hands, why you guys are not dropping your comments. I think a conversation should be two-way. It makes it more interesting and more revealing, because there are questions or comments that people would ask that would trigger something else and push something or something else that will come aboard. I don't know, but I still have to give it time. But then let's look at the games that will go down today. Yes, there are games for today, and I think yesterday that's how I thought that the Roma game was easy, was a walkover. Barcelona already qualified, feeling like no matter what happened, they were going to go there and score. I think that in the championship, let's deal with the championship first. Bolton Wanderers Wolverhampton Wanderers might just qualify for the Premier League tonight if they win their game, and I think they're going to win that game. They've struggled. They threw away a lot of points. They had a couple of chances to gain promotion, but I think that today they will get one of those automatic qualification spots. So I think Wolverhampton Wanderers is going to win that game. FSV Mainz 052 will play against VfB Stuttgart 2. I think both teams will score in this game for sure. It's go down, I think, around 2 p.m. And I think that FSV Mainz 05 to win this game as well. And Hertha Berlin to an Energy Code Boss. I think this game would end with both scoring. Most likely would end in a draw or probably pick it off, but I think both teams will score in that game as well. Everybody wants to talk about the Champions League today. I mean, somewhere in January, we all thought that Lionel Messi had wrestled back the Ballon d'Or. But right now, as it stands, it seems like Cristiano Ronaldo might just win it again. I don't know, but it's looking like that, because if he continues to play like this and he leads Real Madrid to the finals of the UEFA Champions League, even if he doesn't win it, they just might win it again. Bayern Munich will play against Sevilla. Bayern Munich are gradually looking like the odds-on favorite to win this season's Champions League. Bayern Munich or Liverpool. I mean, if Liverpool put up that performance that they put up against Man City, over 2 legs. But the thing is, Liverpool have really not played a team that can shoot from outside the 18, and then that can also trouble you with area threats. And there are 2 teams still in this competition that have that, Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. But so far, they've passed every test. They've aced it. They've scored more goals than any other English team in one single season of the UEFA Champions League. So let's just take it that they are also odds-on favorites right now. It's all the way to the first. Let's meet in the semi-finals. But tonight's game, it's going to be Bayern Munich, Sevilla. I think this game is going to be over 2.5. Bayern Munich are very, very ruthless. They would score quite a lot of goals. Sevilla will also try to score. Not easy for them. I think this game is pretty much one-sided in my opinion. But that was how I thought that the Barcelona game was one-sided, even though I felt Roma was not 3-0. Come on. I didn't see that coming. That's upset of a lifetime. Real Madrid, Juventus. Oh, guys. If Juventus overturn a 3-0 own deficit at the Stadio Bernabeu, then football has ended. Then it's over for football. Then I give up football. But let's see how it goes. I don't think that would happen, but let's see how it goes. Anything is possible. Well, Jesse Onoda, it's a good job on the mentorship program. I sure will be telling my brother about it. Thank you very much. Jesse Onoda, say even if Real Madrid doesn't win the Champions League, Ronaldo still has the Ballon d'Or. No, let me tell you how he doesn't have the Ballon d'Or. For instance, if he has a bad game tonight and Real Madrid get knocked out, like look. This is how the world is designed. You need to do consistently good things, putting good results for a consistent period of time to be noticed. But you only need one bad moment, one slip up for all that good to be condemned and then for you to be defined by that bad. So let's say Ronaldo gets a bad game today and Juventus, I don't know where, comes and wins it. Real Madrid are not going to win the league. They're not going to win any title. Ronaldo just might not also win the Pichichi. So on what ground are you going to give him the Ballon d'Or? You understand? Messi picks up a run and score another hat trick. He just scored one hat trick last weekend, right? Scores another hat trick and just go like that. He wins the European Golden Boot, which I doubt he will win. Wins the European Golden Boot, and then now he's standing up tall. The story changes. So if Madrid doesn't win it, this is still quarterfinals. Let's not forget. This is still quarterfinals. And don't forget that Cristiano Ronaldo did not start the season very well. The season started maybe from February to now. His only claim to defending that title is his performance in the UEFA Champions League. So he has to see it through. But the jury is still out on him because the votes as it will be split. But Ronaldo for me is my awesome favorite to win that Ballon d'Or. This is where he separates himself from Messi. And if Messi is not careful, he just might not be winning it again. It's a good thing that this time around, the top three, they just might be a player from the EPL. I mean, Mo Salah, most definitely and most certainly, African Footballer of the Year settled already, European Footballer of the Year, and World Footballer of the Year. Mo Salah will be on that top three. On that top three. I hope that he doesn't go to the semi-final and flops. If he keeps putting in this type of shifts, it sure will get something. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. But I wonder if there's anything that's going to change. Just to know that where are you viewing from? Sorry, and Sakwari from Jeremiah too. Where are you viewing from? It's good to know where people, are viewing this whole thing from. I know that most times it's difficult for people in Nigeria, not because they don't join, but because the internet is terrible. I mean, I had to install a very, very highly sophisticated internet for me to be able to do this. If you notice, the YouTube channel was all these TZT guys who came in here, installed their own radio, and it's been fantastic. It's been very, very fantastic. Most of the time, you just wonder the little difference a good internet and good electricity can do in any business in this part of the world. I just wish that our government think in that light. So most times when we say that people living abroad are smarter than people over here, I tend to disagree with that conversation because I always say to myself that if the people living abroad face half the challenge that people living in Nigeria face, they will not even be able to think. You understand me? When you don't have to think about electricity constantly. I mean, I'm doing, every time I want to do a video now, I realize I have to put on my gen, even if there's NEPA light, because the video can be on and then NEPA light will just go up and then, the whole brightness goes and the video becomes very poor. So, and then, for this video to run, for instance, I had to go, separate somebody living in Nigeria. The other day I was reading one guy's write-up on book saying that young people in Nigeria are not smart, they're not intelligent, they're not creative. I agree, there are quite a lot of dumb people. Even with all the opportunities, they will still misbehave. But you see, the thing is, if your first point of call, your mind is wired first to always remember what is going to go wrong, what could go wrong. And this is not just out of your imagination. They are the reality of your everyday experience in the Nigerian society. It is difficult for you to think of positivity. Take, for instance, you live in Lagos, you want to keep an appointment. The first calculation is, okay, how is traffic normally between here and there? So if I want to give this person time, let me factor in the traffic. And you wash your clothes, you're always in a hurry to iron them because you're not sure if there's going to be light and you don't want to be looking like somebody who came out of a refuge job with your clean but very, very squeezed clothes. So some of those things are factors that militate or mitigate against the progress of the young minds in Nigeria. But I really do believe that if we gradually keep pushing it, we would get better. Just the same way I think that we could get better in sports, we could get better in a whole lot of things if we just continuously and consistently keep pushing it. Well, I think this daily broadcast for now will be like this. The only day we will not have a 12 o'clock. First Thursdays and last Thursdays of the month. I'm always there, but I'm going to be there tomorrow because we are in for third section, and I've got a class tomorrow. So that's one reason why Thursday will not hold. But my mentorship class will be starting from Friday. Yeah, we'll be starting from Friday, but it is 10 to 12. So once it is 12, I start my broadcast. But the mentorship thing is running from 10 to 12. Some people ask me, I've been getting messages on my inbox. The first question people ask is, how much? I didn't, on the tweet, I didn't say anybody should pay anything. So why is everybody asking how much? It's not about money. It's just the excitement. See, the motivation behind it is when I hear people say, we don't do your kind of analysis anymore. So I think it is something that is missing. It's something that is also serious for people to say. But the funny part was that when I was on radio, people used to hate that kind of analysis. Like it's too how do I put it now? It's full of himself. It's too brash. It's too blunt. Then all of a sudden people are missing it. And I think, okay, I'm not going to go back to doing that full time on radio. I have a company to run and I have a lot of places to travel to. So I need to cut it down. But at the same time, I still think that I need to impact it on people. Then it's incumbent on them to say, okay, this thing that we've learned let's go and put it to practice, in whatever platform they have. Most times when I hear people analyze, it's not like they're not good or fantastic people. It's just that sentiment of not being able to divorce themselves from the club that they support that makes sometimes analysis get from objective to subjective and bias and sentiment and all that coming in. But when you want to do analysis, you're doing analysis, and then sometimes you just want to create trouble. You just want to, especially when you're radio, the tactics to analyze football on radio is a lot more different from when you're doing it on TV. Because on TV, you really don't buy whether anybody is going to respond or not. You have the camera, your job is to look good, state your case, and move on. Now, radio is different. Anybody who's putting you on radio is going to pay money because they believe that you can stimulate callers. Radio is about the callers. It's more about the listeners than it is about you. TV, it is about you than the listener or the viewers. So for TV, they believe that, okay, you have something to say, come here, say it and go. So you can avoid controversies. But on radio, you need controversies to ignite people, to make them call. If not, if you say everything they want to hear, nobody's going to call, wait till I want to talk, you don't talk. So perfect. So you must find a way to stimulate reaction from people. That's something that a lot of people get. And most time they judge me about that, like, this guy likes controversy, this guy crazy, he's full of himself. But come on. When we sit down to talk, when we meet, do you see that element in me? You don't. When you watch the YouTube video, do you see that element in me? You don't. Because this is different. We just have to talk. Matthias Jacob Abba is a good job. Oga, thank you very much. I don't like the word Oga. This is just me. Fali Boluwati, great job, bro. Well done. Thank you very, very much. Now, this is how time flies when you're having fun. And it's time of 30 minutes is gone. You guys said you need me to have a 30-minute show. This is the 30-minute show. Thank you to everybody. Sakwario for my Jeremiah. Thank you to you, Blessing. Thank you very much. He said, what's your take on the disallowed goal by Man City? Believe me, I didn't see that. My take on that is that goal is a clear goal. There was no need to disallow the goal. It came off the knee of Milner, James Milner, a Liverpool player, so there was no outside there. But that is not an excuse for Man City to play the way they played over two legs. Liverpool got a deserved victory and they deserve their progress in the semi-final. Barack Moise, he said, what did you make of Pep being sent off to the stand? Pep has been in football long enough. He has a personal issue with that referee. He should have been wiser, smarter. Is somebody who transited from being a player to a coach. The energy is spent going to talk to the referee, knowing that no matter what you say, you're not going to change the decision. He should have spent that energy to put up fire in his players' dressing room talk. The way Man City got out of that Manchester United got out of that dressing room and turned the game, the weekend on Saturday. I think that's the way he should have done. So he brought it upon himself. He messed himself up there. I'm not going to give excuse. I'm a Pep fan, but that doesn't mean I should give excuse. He's wiser, smarter, bigger than that. I think he played into the referee's game and he paid for it. Sakmare from Jeremiah say, what is your prediction of Tottenham versus Man City? I see another defeat. You know the funny thing, Sakmare, I'm with you on that. I see another defeat, or probably worst case scenario, a draw. I see another defeat because the way Man City are playing right now, they need the weaker team to win the title. I don't think they are going to win the title the way they are playing now. And Tottenham is just another Liverpool. They are all up in your face. But the only difference between Tottenham and Liverpool is Tottenham plays a high line of defense. So if Man City get their wingmen going, Sterling and Sané going, they will be able to beat Tottenham just because of that high line of defense and the fact that if they keep bumping the ball. I don't know what is wrong with Gabriel Jesus anyway, but he seems to have lost focus. That energy, that pump that made them to sell Kelechi that he brought in is no longer there again. Barack Moise, he said, what did you think it's the way for City going forward? I mean, it's for them to find their belief. That same confidence with which they played at the beginning of the season, they should find that belief and that confidence again and get going. Because right now, I think there's something wrong with the team. It started with the Wigan defeats. I guess they wanted to win the treble. They wanted to win the treble, if they either domestic treble or continental and domestic treble. Once they lose the FA Cup, something happened. It affected their head. It affected the way they played. It affected the way they think. And then Liverpool had beat them to stop their unbeaten run. So almost all of the things they were playing for, they had lost it. You understand? So it was more of a case of how can you play this good and not do the season unbeaten? Because they have already played better than the Arsenal team that went unbeaten. So I think it got into their head. Now, for them to lift themselves out of that pit, pit where they got themselves into by losing their mojo is what is very, very difficult. Guys, I really have to go. We would have another video on Friday, 12 o'clock. The broadcast is actually 12 to 12:30. If I answer questions because people came late, I'll be, hot in the show. In broadcasting, you don't overshoot. I'm already doing that already. It's 3 minutes extra. We should play by the rules. If you want to have a conversation on it again, let's do it on Friday. Tomorrow is not going to be available because I'll be out. So on Friday from 12, let's be here and then let's have some fun. Thank you for being here. Everybody who's contributed today to the chat, thank you very much. Once again, my name is Edafe Matthew Esiogene. Have a lovely day.